Hey guys, I'm Ryan Wright. A lot of people say they think my review style is a little too similar to Jeremy Jahns. But is Jeremy Jahns willing to do this? That's right. I'm reviewing in my Avengers underwear. Am I desperate for laughs? Oh yeah. Alright, so this show is called Straight to the Point, so I'm going to start making these reviews a little more straight to the point. First off, you gotta understand that this film, it won't ever be as exciting as the first one. Simply because there's nothing that will beat the first time you see all these guys come together. I mean, the performances are really strong, but I didn't feel like it really elevated their characters to another level. I mean, the only one who I could see out of the four main Avengers who is really different after the outcome of this would probably be Tony Stark, because he's the idiot who helped put together Ultron. God damn it, Robert Downey Jr. Can't ask about your personal life, but you fuck up everyone else's. I felt like most of the characters didn't really have their chance to shine unless there was like an action scene. The action scenes are fucking great, but I didn't feel like the characters themselves didn't really get a shine in a lot of the actual dialogue-driven scenes. And that's another thing. This movie is way more dramatic than the first Avengers. Like, it's much more serious. Yes, there's still humor here and there, but for the most part, it's very serious and much darker, like how most sequels like to do it. And honestly, I feel like this film could have used a little bit more humor. The drama was good, but I didn't really feel a lot of the drama. At times, I was honestly kind of bored. This plot is not exactly the most original thing ever. Helping create AI then rebels against you and wants to wipe out the world. Yeah, we've seen that done before a billion times. But in the first Avengers, not gonna keep comparing them by the way, but in the first Avengers, these dudes took on a god. I'm pretty sure they could defeat AI, so I was never really that worried. And here's where people are like, is Loki technically a god? I mean, don't get me wrong, some characters did get a lot more development. I love what they did with Hawkeye. He wasn't like my favorite one when I walked out of this movie, but I feel like he really did get a chance to show more of his emotional side, see more of his actual character. He helped sustain that sense of humor, and he was still badass. I like what they did with Black Widow. You actually get to really see a much more sensitive side to her. And she still kicks ass, looks great in that suit. That ass of Scarlett Johansson's is just... Now, the two new main characters, Quicksilver, Scarlet Witch. Quicksilver, I liked him. I mean, I couldn't help myself but be like, I like the one more in Days of Future Past. But for this particular story, this Quicksilver is better. And all you fuckers, you in your goddamn comment boxes, spoiled the goddamn movie for me. I'm not gonna say what the scene was, but God damn it. Scarlet Witch, I really like her powers. I like how they use them. The character I thought was written better than the actual performance was. I'll need to take a second look at it. I was mainly distracted by how fake her accent sounded. It just did not sound real to me. And I wish they didn't give away that he is in this movie. They show him in a trailer. They even released a movie clip. Vision is in this. Vision was fucking awesome. At one point, Vision had a moment, just a character moment, that was so great. You guys probably know what I'm talking about if you've seen it, where everyone in the audience was like, whoa. And as in terms of Bruce Banner as the Hulk, not much different. He's still like, I don't want to be the Hulk anymore. But the way how they ended his character in this movie, it made me interested. Like, I would really like to see a standalone Hulk movie that takes place after Age of Ultron and stars Mark Ruffalo, because I'd be interested to see where his solo journey takes him now. And there were times where it was like, definitely choppy. Sometimes it felt pretty uneven. Oh, and how could I almost fucking forget about this guy? Ultron. James Spader does the voice of Ultron. I think he did motion capture. Don't quote me on that, I don't know. But I liked his portrayal. He wasn't a typical AI rebelling. There was even a kind of a quirky sense of humor about him sometimes. Even though I never really felt like the Avengers were ever gonna lose, I still found him to be pretty scary. Out of the Phase 2 movies, I would say Captain America Winter Soldier is still my favorite one. At the end of the day, when you get all these Avengers together, what you're gonna want is some cool superhero fight scenes and be really fucking fun, and those were the best parts of Age of Ultron. Like with the Avengers, some of my favorite scenes are actually just interaction with them. In this movie, the interaction wasn't as appealing to me. It was still good, but it just wasn't as strong for me. I mean, don't get me wrong, the first movie had great action scenes, but I thought they even improved this time around. They're beautifully fucking shot. The characters really get to show off even more of their powers. They work really well together, and there's a lot of action. There's a lot of action in this film. So I know I was a little nitpicky here and there were some things that I really didn't like, but like I said, It's really about, is this entertaining? Is the action gonna fucking rock? I'm not the most comic book savvy, as most of you guys have probably noticed, but in terms of just a film that I was watching, I thought when the action was there was plenty of it, and I always found it really cool to watch. That Hulkbuster versus Hulk scene, oh yeah. Yeah, I gotta get a Hulkbuster of mine one day. Take care of one of my neighbors, motherfucker. So I didn't love it as much as the first Avengers, but does it live up to being a summer blockbuster that is really entertaining? Yeah, I'd definitely say so. Well, let me get straight to the point here. All in all, I gotta say, Avengers Age of Ultron got it entertainingly right. I will be doing a spoiler review of Age of Ultron. Keep a lookout for that. My opinion sometimes changes. This is my first impression of the movie, so if you watch the spoiler, my opinion might actually be different at that time. But last but not least, if you want to get updated every time one of my reviews or videos is out, go ahead and click on this button by my dick to subscribe. That's right. The dick. Let me tell you something about this little Avenger. Every time he gets ready to satisfy his own personal Black Widow, he gets as hard as iron, as big and veiny, so green that vein, monstrous cock. And then he bangs as hard as a hammer. And when he gets ready to release his arrow on his girl's face, she shields herself. Yep, I included all of them.